What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, back here for some more Euros content today. We are without Simeon today, so I'm all by myself. But let's get into it, and today we are going to be road mapping how England can get to the final of the Euros. Obviously, it was a very dramatic night last night in the last group stage games in the Euros, where we saw Germany just get through by the skin of their teeth to face England. You got Portugal, and it chopped and changed about 1,000 times last night who England were playing in the last 16. But as you all know, it is confirmed as Germany now. But we've got the Euro 2020 predictor on screen on my laptop right now, as you can see on screen. These are all the last 16 games, the round of 16. So Belgium against Portugal, Italy against Austria, France against Switzerland, Croatia against Spain, Sweden against Ukraine, England against Germany, Netherlands against Czech Republic, and Wales against Denmark. And as you can see there as well, England are very much in the favourable side of the draw. There was a lot that was made out kind of before the tournament saying, oh, maybe England should finish second because it kind of gives a more favourable draw. But the way I look at it, and the way I've been saying it pretty much all the way through the tournament, is the favourable side of draw is to finish top. You get a very hard draw in the last 16, but from then on in, it's very much favourable. As you can see, Belgium, Portugal, Italy, France, Spain and Croatia all on the opposite side of the draw, when we've got Wales, Denmark, Netherlands, Czech Republic, England, Germany, Sweden and Ukraine. So you got to say that our side of the draw is definitely the better side to be on. But look, let's get into this predictor and let's see how England can get to that final. And let's start off with the top side of the draw, and let's see where we go. So the first game of the round of 16 will be Belgium against Portugal, which is a mouth-watering tie. It really is. Belgium, for me, have been very much the team of the tournament so far. Them and Italy. Lukaku has been the player of the tournament for me so far. And Portugal as well. They got battered by Germany, but I think that they held their own against France, and in the first game, they really put Hungary to the sword with a 3-0 win, albeit 3 late goals, but they did win that quite convincingly in the end. And you've got to say that is impressive, seeing as Hungary did hold Germany and they did hold France as well. So you've got to give credit to Portugal for that. Hungary have been a very, very surprising outfit so far in this Euros. But in terms of this Belgium-Portugal game, judging on the two teams, I do think Belgium will go through. It will be a tight game. I think it could go to extra time, but I do think Belgium will just have enough to win that game. Obviously, it's the big one in Cristiano Ronaldo going up against Romelu Lukaku, the two form, well, definitely two of the two form players in the tournament so far. So I'm going to go for Belgium to win that one. Next up will be Italy against Austria. Now, Austria, obviously no mugs at all. They've got some good players in their team with Marcel Sabitzer, David Alaba, Marko Arnautovic. But like I said with Belgium, Italy have definitely been one of the teams of the tournament so far. They've been absolutely impeccable. So I can't see anyone but Italy winning that game. And I think it's going to be a convincing victory, maybe 2-0. Italy just don't concede goals. They just don't concede goals. So I'm going for Italy to win that one. And that brings up a very mouth-watering tie of Belgium against Italy in the quarterfinals. But back into the round of 16, France against Switzerland. I mean, there's only one winner there. I know France did stumble against Hungary and did draw against Portugal, but I think they'll make easy work of this Switzerland side, and I'm backing them to win by probably a 2-0 win, and I'm backing Mbappe to finally get on that score sheet. Pogba has been absolutely sensational. I think Karim Benzema showed against Portugal his class as well. So France to win that one. Croatia against Spain is an interesting one. I have not been impressed with Spain whatsoever so far. I know they won 5-0 in their last fixture, but look, I just cannot see Spain going far in this tournament. They just have a lot of bark with no bite, in my opinion. A lot of tippy-tappy football, a lot of passing around, but not much grit. And I think when they do come up against a good side, and Croatia are a good side, when they do come up against a good side, I do think they're going to come undone. And Croatia are that dogged team that work really hard. Yes, they lost to England, and they kind of drew with Czech Republic and beat Scotland. Not the greatest form, but I I don't know which way this one's going to go, to be honest. I think it's a very, very tight game. But I can see Croatia just nicking it just on their pure grit of their team. Luka Modric with an absolutely stunning goal against Scotland to send them through. I'm going to go for Croatia. It might be a bit outside the box, that one. But if Croatia do win this one, it is a rerun of the 2018 World Cup final, France against Croatia in the quarterfinals. But let's move on to England's side of the draw now. It's Sweden against Ukraine in the first one of our side of the draw in the round of 16. Sweden against Ukraine. Now, Ukraine I've been impressed with in the first two games. Last game against Austria, I really thought they were very lackluster. But in the first two games, Yaremchuk and Yarmolenko have really, really stood out to me. And I think they really work hard. They really work well together. And they've both got themselves 2 goals as well. And Yaremchuk is actually one that I've kind of earmarked maybe for a backup striker role for Tottenham. He's big, he's strong, he's got that mobility about him. He's got a bit of nous on the ball as well. So I've been impressed with him. But Sweden, I think, will have a bit too much for Ukraine. So I'm going to go for Sweden to win this one. I thought Kululevsky came on in their last game and really impressed me. I thought he came on, got assist. I think got 2 assists when he came on. So you got to say Sweden have been an impressive outfit so far. I don't think they'll go that far in tournament. That the quarterfinals is probably their ceiling in this tournament, but I've been impressed with them. But it will be a closely fought game. There's no two ways about it. It will not be an easy win for Sweden, but I am going for them to go through to the quarterfinals. Now, the big one, England against Germany. There's no chance in this world I'm going to predict Germany to win. So obviously England are going through to the corner. Seeing is, this is mapping England's route to the final. So England are definitely going to go through on that one. England against Germany. It's time for Gareth Southgate to right those wrongs of 1996, that missed penalty at Wembley. It's time for him to right those wrongs. I mean, that is the last time we faced them at Wembley in a knockout tournament, Euro 96. So it's time to finally right those wrongs for Gareth Southgate. And obviously everyone will be listening to Three Lions, It's Coming Home, coming into that game. And the lyric that stands out in my mind is, Gareth Southgate, the whole of England are with you. So look, if England do beat Germany, that will set up a quarter-final tie, a favourable quarter-final tie against Sweden, which we did have in the in World Cup 2018. I mean, we played them in the last 16, I believe, and we made quite easy work of it. I think it was a 2-0 victory. So that's enough for the England-Germany game. Moving on to Holland against Czech Republic, the Netherlands against Czech Republic. Now, the Netherlands came into this tournament. The manager situation was a bit up in the air. Nobody thought Frank de Boer would do quite well. Their defensive capabilities definitely had a question mark about them. But I think that they've proved to a lot of teams that they're a force to be reckoned with. I think going forward, that they can be kind of breathtaking at times. Memphis Depay really, really on scintillating form. Their defence, I think that it isn't the greatest defence, but it's not as bad as people have made out pre-tournament. And I think that right back, Denzel Dumfries, has really shown what he's about with 2 goals, marauding up and down that right-hand side. So I think Netherlands are definitely a force to be reckoned with, and they're coming up a Czech Republic side who, you got to say, in the teams that are left in it, they're probably the weakest out of everyone left in it. So I think Netherlands will win that one. Netherlands to go through. And the last round of 16 will be Wales against Denmark, which will be a tasty, tasty tie. I think Wales have surprised a lot of people coming into this tournament. Gareth Bale has been on really good form. Aaron Ramsey, really good. Up front, Kiefer Moore has been a really good target man as well. So And you always know what you're going to get with Wales. You know you're going to get team spirit. You know they're going to be together. You know that they're going to be in a very solid defensive shape. Joe Rodon at the centre of that next to Chris Mepham and Ben Davis as well. And I think all 3 of them have been really, really solid for Wales. And that has been their kind of basis to move forward, in my opinion. And I think I've been really impressed with Wales. But unfortunately for them, they are coming up a Denmark side with a lot to prove. We all know what happened in the first game game with Denmark with Christian Eriksen, and it does seem that they all are pulling through for him. They want to do well for him, and they seem like just running on adrenaline. They seem like men on mission at the moment. They're running at 100 miles per hour pretty much the whole game. You saw when they came up against Belgium in that first half, they were absolutely scintillating. They were unbelievable, and they were unlucky not to go in with more of a lead than they did. Yes, ultimately in the second half, quality did show through with Belgium, and they got back into the game. But in the next game, when they won, I think it was 4-1 against Russia, they were just absolutely unplayable on the day, and I don't think anyone would have beaten them that day. Damsgaard with an unbelievable goal, Poulsen's getting the goals as well. Look, they are just playing really, really good football, and it's a lot to be said, like when they're running on adrenaline, when they're all pulling together in the same kind of way because of what happened to Christian Eriksen. I think that they can go a long way in this tournament. I really believe that. And I do think Denmark will beat Wales. And another thing to mention with Denmark is Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, because obviously Spurs player Pierre, he's the general. He is absolutely playing like that in this Euros. He is everywhere. He's contributing to the defence like we know he can, and he's contributing to the attack as well. I think he's got the most assists in the tournament, most chances created in the tournament, and this is a central defensive midfielder in Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. He is playing a pure Viking role for Denmark, and they are like 11 Vikings on the pitch, absolutely fighting tooth and nail to do it for Christian Eriksen and for themselves as well. So for that reason, I'm going for Denmark to just get over the line with Wales. Like I said, they are just pulling all in the same direction at the moment. So are Wales, to be fair, but I just do think Denmark just have that bit more about them with Pierre in there, you know, most chances created, most assists in the tournament. I do think Denmark will be going through to face Netherlands in the quarterfinals, which is also a mouth-watering tie. So if you look through these quarterfinals, they are all amazing ties, to be honest. Belgium against Italy, two of the form sides going up against each other in the quarterfinals. France against Croatia, the rerun of the 2018 World Cup final. Sweden against England, which is a rerun of the last 16 of the last World Cup as well. And Netherlands against Denmark, which is sure to be a great tie, with a lot of goals. So let's go to Belgium against Italy. Very difficult one to call this one, and Belgium are really not having an easy one of this. Really, Portugal in the last 16, then moving on to Italy in the quarterfinals, and I feel that could be a step too far for Belgium, because Italy, I think they're playing definitely more as a team. Look, I said Belgium are probably the team of the tournament so far, but I did say Italy are also up there with the team in the tournament. So it's hard to call between those two. But I do think Italy will get the nod against Belgium. Obviously, Belgium with Romelu Lukaku, like I said, player of the tournament. But Italy, I don't think you can earmark one player from that team that is actually stand out, because I think they're all actually working so well as a team. And that's what you need in tournament football. I think the Belgium defence is ageing, and I think that might catch up with them in this round, and I think Italy will go through, maybe in extra time, maybe in penalties, but Italy, I'm going to go for Italy. Next up is France against Croatia, and it's going to be the exact same outcome as the World Cup final in 2018, and France will win that one. Croatia, they are a couple of years older than they were, obviously, from that World Cup. And the squad is pretty much very similar. So I do think France will win that one quite convincingly. England against Sweden in the quarterfinals. England will win that one. We've got a good kind of record against Sweden in knockout tournaments. I believe we've beaten them twice and drawn once in the kind of recent future. So I'm backing England to get the job done against Sweden, which will take them to the semi-finals at Wembley. And who will we be playing in the semi-final? It will be one of Netherlands or Denmark. And like I said, Denmark are proving a point to everyone. Without their talisman, Christian Eriksen, they are all pulling in the same direction. They've got that grit about them. They've got that togetherness about them. And that can take you a long way. It really can in tournament football. Netherlands, I think that, like I said, defence coming into the tournament wasn't that great, but they are proving a few teams wrong. Yes, they conceded 2 goals on the first day to Ukraine, but since then, I think they have shown it up a bit, and their attack is absolutely scintillating. Like I said, Georgie Wijnaldum absolutely pulling through for them, and also Memphis Depay, the talisman. It's so difficult to call this one. I actually can't call it. Denmark against Netherlands. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go for Netherlands. I'm gonna go for Netherlands. Although it could easily go Denmark's way, I'm gonna go for Netherlands. So England against Netherlands in the second semi-final. The first semi-final will be Italy against France. Two absolutely mental ties. Now Italy against France. Who will make it to the final between Italy and France? You can't look past France. You just can't look past France. I think that this one could actually be 0-0 by 90 minutes, and I think it could go to the wire. This one really could go to the wire, but I am backing France with the Mbappes, Benzema's, Pogba's, Griezmann's, to pull through on this one. I think Italy might even go this way into not conceding up until now into the tournament, but I think France will be that kind of just that step too far for them, unfortunately. So France will make it to the final. England against Holland in the other semi-final. I'm going to go for England to win. England have been very solid in this tournament so far without conceding a goal. We've mentioned Netherlands' defence so far. We've mentioned their attack. So if England can kind of stifle the Netherlands' attack, I do back them to go and win this semi-final against them. I really do. So England to play France in the final. And I'm not going to tell you who I think are going to win the final. I'm not going to tell you who I think is going to win the final, because France are the best team in world football right now. Not just the team that they have at the Euros as well. Their under-21 team could probably beat England, to be fair. They have got probably 3 or 4 squads that can beat anyone at this tournament. I really believe that. But look, there you have it. That is England's route to the final. And it is, if we can get past Germany, there is a favourable route there. There really is, considering the teams and the kind of form everyone is in this tournament. So that is the route. England to beat Germany, England to beat Sweden in the quarters, then to a tasty tie against the Netherlands in the semi-finals, and then a nightmare tie in the final, to be honest, against France. But if you want to win the tournament, you've got to beat the best teams, and that is the case right now. I mean, Germany in the last 16 with all the way to France in the final. But that is the kind of map, the route to the final that I have mapped out for you guys. But let me know in the comment section below, do you think this is realistic? Do you think that we can beat Germany? Can we get to that final? Because I actually genuinely believe the winner of England-Germany will be in the final. I do believe that. I think the winner of England-Germany will be in the final. And yeah, it's very interesting how kind of it was perceived at the beginning of the tournament. Everyone thought maybe finishing second would have been better for us, but I thought that was a bit too short-sighted because no one looked further than the kind of round of 16. But when you do look past the round of 16, it's definitely the more favourable draw, finishing top of the group, and that is what you can see there. But I have mapped it out. England, Germany, England, Sweden, England, Netherlands, with a final at Wembley against France. If this does happen, this country is going to go in overdrive, and you're going to see the beers flowing everywhere as we go further on into the tournament. You remember seeing those videos from 2018 with the fan parks and everything, and the whole country coming together. And I think that is going to happen on Tuesday. That is going to happen on Tuesday. And England, Germany at Wembley. Like I said, Gareth Southgate has some wrongs to right. And if we can get past that German side, I do believe we can go on to the final, and then it's a final. It's a 90 minutes of football, and it is anyone's game. But there you have it. Let me know in the comment section below if you agree with my map to the final. If you don't agree, let me know the route in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, England.